Hello guys. Let me trust you're doing good. Welcome once again to this video. Today we are going to talk about the step down one voltages. That is, we are going to discuss how the 3.3 always on and the 5.0 always on voltages are generated. And before we continue, I'd like to wish you a happy Eid al-Fitr celebration for our Muslim brothers and sisters as they celebrate the end of their Ramadan period. So I don't wish to waste more time. Uh, just allow me to share my screen because we are going to discuss how the 3.3 always on footage and the 5.0 always on footages are generated. Yes, is my screen. So let's have a look at this. Yes, as you can see at this page of my tutorials, this is slide I believe should be slide number 23 and the slide number 24. Yes, because as you can see, this is 22, 23, 24, and then 25. So between these two slides, that is the down one, uh, slide 23 and 24, we are going to have this diagram. So this is the diagram we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss how the 3.3 always, as you can see, this is the 3.3 always voltage, which has been generated here, somewhere here. And then we have 5.0 always voltage, which has been also generated from this particular side. So as you can see, we have the voltage coming in. So this red arrow represents the voltage coming in towards this circuit. So this entire circuit represents the generation of the 3.3 always on voltage and the Vreg 3 always and the Vreg 5 always. So not always, sorry, this is LDO 3, sometimes called Vreg 3, LDO 5, or sometimes called Vreg 5. But the always on voltage is different thing. The always on voltages are these other voltages here. So let's see how these voltages are generated. As you can see, we have the main power coming in. So this is the input power. This power can come to this switch. So this is the MOSFET. Is a switch, is a power switch. And then we have another power coming into the what this BWM. This is pulse with modules. This is a PMIC which generates the 3.3 and the 5.0. That PMIC must receive the input power. This is the operating voltage towards this IC. Then you have another voltages which are going towards these other switches, this from the other side. So this normally switching, it happens in pairs. They are like a twin or a family. Sometimes you find we call it this IC a mother, because it is the mother of the two generation, that is the 3.3 voltage and the 5.0 voltage. So this voltage, this main power comes in. Let's start from this particular section whereby the 3.3 is being generated. The 19 voltage comes towards this IC, whereby once the voltages reaches here, not this IC, this MOSFET, once the voltage arrives at this MOSFET, the signal is sent through this gate. So this is the gate of this MOSFET. The signal is sent toward this IC, whereby this particular section. So within this IC, we have a department or a section whereby it is responsible for generating the 3.3 voltage always. And you also have another section which is responsible for generating 5.0 voltage. So this particular section which is responsible for 3.3 voltage, once it receives signal from this, so it switches the 3.3 from this particular side. So here we have 19. So this MOSFET switch 3.3 towards this particular point, whereby from here the 3.3 is sent through this inductor. So this is an inductor, whereby this inductor can regulate that voltage or can filter any noise, can regulate that voltage, and that it sends out that voltage here. And that is how the 3.3 voltage is generated. 5.0 voltage is generated exactly the same way, whereby you have the 18 or the main power, that is 19 or 20 voltage coming towards this switch. Then the signal is sent toward a particular section which is responsible for switching the 5.0 voltage. Then that 19 voltage or that main power is switched, or it is stepped down. That's why this line we call it step down. It is stepped down to 5.0. Then it is sent through this inductor, and this inductor releases the 5.0 after regulating it. Then that 5.0 then is sent out, and that is how the 5.0 is generated. So let's have a look at this other particular area. Within this same IC, so this is the entire one IC. We have also a section which is responsible for generating the 3.3 linear regulator, linear voltage of the period. So this linear voltages, so three voltage linear is the one which we normally call it LDO3 or period. So the period or the LDO are the one and the same thing. The same particular section, the 5 voltage linear is also generated, whereby the same period is used by, it is recycled or it is consumed by the same IC. This is the PCC. This is the PCC for this IC. So meaning this IC operates under what? 5 voltage. So that voltage, as you can see, it's just go back to the same IC and it is used within this IC. But the 3.3 period, it is sent towards the BIOS and the SIO. As you can see, it goes this way. Yes, and it comes to the pin number 8. At pin number 8 of the BIOS chip, you will find that it contains the 3.3 voltage. That voltage which is found within the pin number 8 and pin number 1 in the BIOS is what's called the PREC or the LDO. And it is not the always on voltage from this particular area. So the same LDO3 or the period 3 is also used by the SIO. SIO needs that voltage for its operation. When this IC, we know that the IC is responsible for sending out the signal or the enabling signals towards what? Towards any PMIC within the motherboard. As you can see, you have signals coming out. Then you have signals coming towards this SIO. This signal is called PG signal. This is the power code signal. Then we have enabling signals which goes out to any PMIC within the laptop motherboard. Any PMIC within the laptop motherboard. I believe I told you earlier, it is the responsibility for this IC to ensure that those ICs are enabled. So as you can see, the enabling signals can go in. Then it is splitted into two, whereby you will have the split of 3.3 on, then you have the split of 5.0 on. So these are the signal which are sent to this IC to be used in what? To be used in the enabling that power control. Again, apart from that, as you can see, after every inductor, for example, here you have a signal line going back to that IC, PMIC. Same case here. After the inductor, you have the signal coming back. So this is like communication. It is reporting back the current which has passed there. If it is in excess or less, then the information needs to be sent back, or the report is sent back to this IC. So that in case if there is any need for any regulation or any changes, the same IC can do that. So after the output, that is, after you receive, after this inductor receives the current, then the information is sent back to the IC through this signal lines. As you can see, you have signal lines going back to this IC. Yes. So I believe you're getting anything there. Then from there, let's see if these are the same representation. However, at this particular point, I think it is somehow more easier than the other one. These are exactly the same. This is exactly the same. As you can see, you have the voltages coming in. This is the same diagram like the other one. You have the voltages coming in towards here. You have it is received by this MOSFET. Same case received by this. Then the 3 voltage linear generated the LDO3, and that LDO3 is sent towards the super IO. Then from the super IO, the super IO can take over managing the power. Then you have the LDO5, whereby the 5.0 voltage is generated to be used by this IC. That's called the PCC 5 voltage. Then apart from that, you will have the 5 voltages which can be generated by this MOSFET and then sent towards the motherboard. That is the suspension 5.0 always. So guys, I believe at least you've understood how this 3.3 is generated. So within every laptop motherboard, you might have this this arrangement whereby you have management, a PMIC management. That is the 3.3 5.0 IC generator, and we normally call it mother IC. Then you will have the two MOSFETs. whereby the two MOSFETs are responsible for generating the 3.3 from the other side. Then you have the 5.0 from the other side. This the SIO is the one in charge of all those generation. I know this IC is the one which is generating this, but before this IC takes over, before this IC generated the voltages, it also needs the permission from the SIO, and that is how the step one voltages work. I believe you got something out of the discussion. It is not hard though, not easy, but you just need to have a very small understanding about them. So guys, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you for watching this video. And please, if you haven't subscribed, I'm still requesting you, please subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and give us a comment. In case you have an issue with your laptop, we also do the laptop repairs. You can send your laptop to us so that we can fix it for you. Or if you're interested in learning about laptop repairs, you can also contact us. Then we can see how we can integrate you to our classes. We have the offsite classes and our online classes. So whichever the module you would like to enroll to, you are very welcome. So thank you so much, guys, and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Bye bye.